Archives, anniversaries, journals and diaries have much in common. All strive to capture memories, to safeguard stories, to chronicle life. Our histories matter. As individuals, organisations, even countries, much is worthy of noting. Most accounts are word portraits, footage or collages of still images. How many of us cringe at snapshots of the past? Thank you for taking that down really quickly, Doug. Vanity seems to dislike big hair and fashion tragics in my case. Now, these photographs have been buried deeply in dusty albums, certainly not originally intended for public consumption. For someone of my generation, it's strange that we seemingly share more of ourselves now than ever before. Once diaries were literally hidden away under lock and key. In contrast, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram and YouTube are ways of publishing our diary to the world. Is it really an open book, though, or a skewed attempt to mould a version of ourselves? Perhaps we post the ideal rather than the real, and if so, what is our motivation? Is it the look at me culture, oddly enabled further by selfie sticks? Or are we simply keeping connected because we can? Frequently it seems as though we're keener to record an event than be truly present at it. Even in a crowded room, the primary interface is often a device, not another person. Please be assured that this address is not going to morph into a grumpy commentary about young'uns today and the vices of ubiquitous technology. Rather, the thinking is seeking to understand more about how we choose to mark a sense of place and a sense of self. Through every individual lens, we craft a unique frame of reference with layers of interpretation. In doing so, we can knowingly and often unknowingly distort the truth. Or we choose to honour the integrity of each moment. There are, in fact, many truths, and our perspectives reflect mere moments in time. How might history record the moments of 2015, and how has 2015 recorded history? To begin with the latter, this year, Australia has commemorated the centenary of our troops landing at Gallipoli. Undoubtedly, these were our founding heroes. We've paused to recognise their service and offer thanks to those who continue to risk their lives. Sadly, wars, conflicts and peacemaking operations remain ever present. Fortunately, mateship and sacrifice equally hold meaning and are partly why individuals still choose to revere the Anzac spirit as a unique feature of our national identity. Similarly, 800 years following its first edition, showing respect for the ideals of the Magna Carta has been another important reflection in 2015. Latin for Great Charter, in its simplest form, this document inscribed for the first time that no one is above the law, not even the king. Its influence carried forward to the creation of the Bill of Rights and the US Constitution. Beyond the medieval period, the 20th century brought more complexities across the globe, and these resulted in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In 1948, Eleanor Roosevelt described the Declaration as an international Magna Carta for all humankind. It is staggering to think that the philosophy behind this was born in 1215. In pondering these two examples of a centenary and an 800th anniversary, the concept of trust seems binding. Anzacs placed their lives in each other's hands, and every day we are called upon to trust one another to uphold human rights that were first formalised through the Magna Carta. Despite its critical relevance to the evolution of humankind, have we become flippant with the virtue of trustworthiness? We seem to have normalised the dishonesty of politicians, perhaps even expect it. Our sporting culture defers to the third umpire. We self-diagnose through Google, and rarely do children play unsupervised in the street. Of course, we can argue that that is because the world has changed so dramatically. We can no longer afford to take anyone or anything at face value. But what if this approach is preventing the world from changing again, for the better? Not for a minute am I suggesting that we become careless or take unnecessary risks. Instead, this is a call to model and give trust. So who do you trust? As you bring those individuals to the front of mind, I wish to return to what history might say about 2015 and to celebrate a woman whom I trust implicitly. For MLC, this has been a significant year. We've launched and begun achieving the associated priorities and projects of Towards 2025, our strategic plan for the next decade. Its release has felt like a turning point, the transition to refresh our school's legacy. And as families, you rightly place your trust in us to deliver on that promise. Our archives will also etch magnificently that this year heralds an opportunity to pay tribute to an extraordinary woman. Across many years, MLC has entrusted our girls and staff in Yvonne Palmer's care. She's never faltered in her responsibilities or loyalty to our community, and never been anything but a professional, judicious, and expert educator. Wise and courageous, thoughtful and curious, Yvonne personifies what it means to strive to the heights. She gives herself wholeheartedly and always with the motivation of shaping great learning opportunities. In addition, generosity and humility are hallmarks of her character. For modelling hope, purity of purpose, and dignity, we honour and we thank her unreservedly. MLC's history shall forever remember Yvonne as a truly accomplished leader with rare and precious gifts. We have been blessed to know Ms. Palmer's influence. Whether history's pages record an individual's contribution to MLC, the forming of a nation's spirit, or a global call to protect the rights of humanity, there are three intersecting and interdependent fundamentals. We are defined by our principles. Retreating from our values is never an option. And trust is priceless. With these understandings in our hearts and in our minds, we close the academic year at MLC for 2015 and we commence the festive season. So from my family to your family, may trust and thankfulness be plentiful this day and evermore.